What's popular? YouTube, another day, another demo. I'm built differently. I'm built differently. You don't wanna fuck. That song stuck in my head. Shout out to Pokey for that one. That banger. What's going on, guys? Okay, so this yesterday, like last 4 days basically, last 3 days, sorry, did these Cloud9 games. I want to follow more Cloud9 games because I find the team very interesting to watch. I'm good friends with Henry. I like a lot of these players as players. It's cool to see them all together. Like, I'm really interested in this project. So this next match, I really want to watch it too. It's actually in 4 hours, which is interesting. So it's basically 12 hours since I recorded the last demo, like, because I recorded it last night at midnight. But now we're gonna do kind of like a lead in to blast the blast showdown. Let me just pull that up, because for a second there I was just really tired. Like I said in the video, I'm tired. I was just like really tired, and I was just like, I had that really hard weekend basically of long days. But the casting now is back to normal. There's no like 10 match show days or whatever. So I'm like back in the rhythm again with the uploads. And it was cool to watch and take it easy and watch some of those Cloud9 games and just let Priya spectate or whatever. But I want to do another POV demo now. I want to look at, so this is the Blast Showdown that's coming up. 9 days to this. For Europe, it's freaking stacked, bro. We got Virtus Pro, which is Virtus Pro, Spirit, Godsend. All these like lower teams are competitive. We saw that clip from Johnny Boy recently, that up clutch that he had. This is so competitive. I am stoked because we got EG and Furious. We'll give them a second chance. And then Liquid's here in Europe, so Liquid's debut in Europe. Virtus Pro, who look nuts right now. FaZe is like this magical quality where they lost their games, but they came so close, right? And they don't have Nico anymore, but they still look good. It's weird, man. It's so weird. I didn't expect it. I'm super excited about it. I thought this team was going to completely implode, but they genuinely look like they're better in different ways, in sustainable ways. They beat OG, they beat Vitality. This is insane, man. I want to look at this match. Like, Vitality have been maybe the most consistent team this year for the top 2 or 3. Like, maybe there's not been a true number one team in the online era, but Vitality probably been the closest thing to a consistent top number one team. Even though they lose in like they lose in finals or semifinals a lot. They got like second place like 4 events this year. But this idea that like FaZe can exist without Nico and be better in different ways is so interesting to me. So I want to look at it. So broky in this match, this is what's incredible about broky. He top fragged in every single half this match. So here's overpass, T side, 16, 16, 18, 17. Every single half he top fragged. It's kind of unbelievable. And it looks like not even did he top frag, he actually top fragged over every single other player in the server, which is so nuts. And I kind of want to watch all 4 halves a little bit. If you think that's too much of one player, let me know. But I might just, like I did with the Cloud9 game, just kind of throw up more and more halves because I'm curious about this. Is one of broky's probably best performances of his whole career, even though it's an online match. And his form's been going up, and these last 2 series they won, he has been playing extraordinarily well. So, man, it feels like everybody, dude, as soon as Nico left, we got a whole bunch of new home run batters that just appeared out of nowhere. Like, yes, we knew broky was good before, but Olaf, like, coming in, it's such a huge step down in some sense from Nico. Like, maybe it is true that Olaf would be hard to replace for his experience with just some random player. But for Nico, who is relevant, who is top level, who is all-time great rifler, who is the IGL, like, that is just insane, right? That's insane. So I love this storyline. I want to like investigate into this, and let me know what you think about that, doing 4 halves straight on. So it's lunchtime right now. I got a call time in like 40 some, well, like an hour. So I just got to do this and then get some breakfast in. But we're actually going to do a POV again with the appropriate. I got the bob in here. I got the view model in there. I got the resolution going. And we're just going to hop into the first half, basically, and just talk. I want to make a video on, today I might be uploading this right away, by the way, because I wanted to say I'm casting Valorant. So I'm casting Valorant today on the official Riot channel for Valorant. It's twitch.tv/Valorant_esports_EU. And Connor and I will be casting. It's the biggest thing we've casted in Valorant. And I want you guys to like watch and listen, even if you don't like Valorant, just for me. And so I'll upload this so you can, and I'll leave a link in the comment so you can watch. Let me know what you think. Okay. Oh no! Wait, what happened? Oh, broky died. Okay, sorry. I thought I messed up the POV demo. Thank goodness. Okay. So let me know what you think about it. After this week, I think we have one more week of Valorant on the weekend, and then we go back to CSGO casting for the showdown. And my brain's been in two ways casting Valorant and CS. Like, it's because I do analysis, so I've been boot camping analysis for Valorant, and then I've been analyzing a CSGO demo every day and watching CSGO content every day, like all my favorite podcasts and stuff. And I'm going on HLTV Confirmed tomorrow, and I'm like watching everything everyone's putting out all the time. So it would be cool, like in this channel, to be able to grow to the point that I could, everything I do, I can share, and I don't have to like make it one thing here and not share everything I do. And I think in order for me to continue to like want to do things, I've got to also like do what I want. You know what I mean? Like if I'm going to, I think part of the way that I could feel like I could get burnt out is if I feel like I can't do something on my own channel. So I'm going to be careful about, what I upload and stuff. And I know there's no demo system in Valorant, but if I ever upload anything like that or something that's related to my work, like it's just going to come. Yeah, I understand this is a core CSGO channel. And, oof, that's a couple of good entries. A really strong angle clear by broky. But I just wanted to say, not to be combative, but mostly to say, no one wants I kind of want to do as much content as possible. So when we do a video every freaking day, it's not like my one video of the week will be Valorant, right? And I've already uploaded 3 Sova Arrow videos in the past. I just have them privated now. But if it's going to be something that I do some of the time in my job, in my real life, and that something I spend a lot of time watching and learning and stuff, then I want to be able to share it. And the same would go for if I do Melee. The same would go for if I do Rocket League in the future. I'm a Counter-Strike head, but I have like lots of games that I like. So we'll see. So they somehow lost this round. This last round, even with those 2 good entries. It's been a while since we sat back and watched a POV demo. I'm kind of happy about it. Let me just make sure I'm on the right scene here. Yep. All good. Okay. Just get absolutely farmed. T-side op. And yeah, the real magic of broky is it's like I feel like sometimes broky can't out-op everyone. Like I have seen him get out-op by top oppers like a lot. Like Nock, Zaiwu, Ziwu, Simple. Like sometimes he's off a little bit off and not faster than them. And you can kind of see the rifle in him showing in a sense. Where he's not like quite as quick as Kenny S or Woxic. But at the same time, he can be. He can be very fast. That was definitely blazing fast. But I think he plays the role hella well. Let's watch the Rain clutch. See if he can pull it off. Because we also got to do investigation into Rain because he's also stepped it way up. And I really want to know if the sentiment on the team is like some people are actually relieved that Nico's gone. I'm getting that feeling, honestly. When I was watching the first game, looking at the player cams, like I honestly had never seen FaZe Clan so happy in a match. Like, does Rain actually pull this out? No way, right? I don't know if they tapped it or not. Okay, that's free. And then what? He'll jump down? Yeah. Flash goes over. Oh, that was close. My God, that was so close. Shox has been nuts, too, for Vitality. Absolutely insane. Shoxy, man. Shoxy, baby. Pressure now for the mid-control. Flash assist for broky. Bomb scooped. What do they want to do with this? Vitality know it's a 1-3-1 setup now because of the amount of pressure at mid. So that means they could take gamble and push either A ramp or Palace, or they could try to fight the guy in B. This is known. And Vitality are going to have to peek something. They cannot just sit here and wait. So we'll see what the option is. I wouldn't be surprised if they come late Palace on this. But who knows? And broky's actually probably concerned about the A ramp push here. So you can see even though they have one side of A pushed, he's still aware of this potential. Because as the A holder, you can't just sit and spawn every round, right? Because they could push into Palace, and if you want to go back A, then you need that. And it's probably better to push Palace than it is to push A ramp. That's a fantastic trade. So this is just a cat smoke. So they can kind of look towards market. Look at the side angles, not worry about their side. See how they're not worried about their left as much here? That's why he threw that smoke. Lets you focus on what's in front of you. And let's see if a clutch can ensue here for broky. This is a dangerous angle to play with. You can easily get opt. But he needs to take some kind of risk to find one kill. So he's playing the spot that everyone will assume you're in at first. But it's a good spot for a 50-50. And oh my God, he is so sharp. That's crazy. And that's one of those kills where, you look at RPK's view of it, and it looks like he was literally pre-aiming it the whole time, right? Such a good clear. Really nuts. Like, imagine if RBK wasn't there, how that peak would have looked. It would have looked like he was aiming at nothing, basically. So confident right there. Nice to have someone who can op as well as they can rifle on your team. And this time they lose a player first. So let's see what the sitch is. This is always a tough round to call because now you don't expect the other team to make a mistake. So I actually do love grouping B hits. If it's open in the strategy, like if it's in the playbook, I like to do B hits in this situation because it's easier to, like, you could randomly get 2 kills and then it's too hard to retake. The real problem for FaZe here is such an important round because they just won that one round 1v1. 1v2. So Kirby's throwing the top cat smoke. So they're trying to make it look like a split. So here the idea is basically it's kind of a shitty fake, but if there's somebody on cat, then that guy now has to watch his back if he doesn't push. And if they do group for a B hit, maybe they have a slight advantage and there's only one person actually in the B site. And it also allows Vitality on A to be a bit concerned about connector push. But we can see it's actually the double Molotov to try to kill him in the molly. That's interesting. I actually don't see that often, I feel like. I'm going to assume they actually threw that on purpose. Okay. Always tough to catch someone peeking back to the left on a spray like that. And now a 2-on-1 situation. Just pure headshots for broky so far. Oh, enormous wide swing. Honestly, could have thrown that away. Kirby doesn't peek with him right away. But Kirby's also really stepped up. Okay. Straight out to the blessed wildfire. Dropped by the chosen one. Ziwu. Zaiwu. Same deal every round for broky. In some weird way, it feels like he's calling, where he's always middle here. And I think Cold Zera is calling. And in my mind, I have to get used to the idea that Nico and Cold Zero are two different players, right? Because there's this narrative in CS that your star players are always going to be subpar callers, and you shouldn't let them call because of people like Nico, that they've created this narrative. But we know that Cold Zero has actually called for SK famously versus Team Liquid at the major where he got that graffiti on B site. Cold Zero called all the way through OT. It was like his first major. I think I have that remembered correctly. MLG Columbus first major in OT versus Team Liquid, and like called the whole OT. And then afterwards, I interviewed Fallen, and he said Cold Zero called the whole thing. So Cold Zero's confidence as a caller came on early, and I have to think, like, even though Nico and Cold Zero are about equivalent in terms of talent as riflers, and Cold Zero is even more decorated than he is, they're their own players. And maybe Cold Zero could be a great caller. The only reason you'd think otherwise is because if Nico's on the team, why wasn't Cold Zero calling more if he was the better caller? But if it's true that, like, Nico was, like, he kind of did, like, put himself in the role, or he didn't enjoy it but didn't trust anyone else to do it, then maybe the entire time Nico was calling when it would have been better for Cold Zero to be calling. And if that's true, then we have one more caller in Europe, and we have a team with potentially players that won't be wasted as talent. And that is so exciting to think about, because FaZe absolutely disappointing in the last 2 years with Nico calling, no matter how well he's played. One of those roster moves right now where it feels like both G2 and FaZe could potentially benefit, which is so insane. I just never thought that FaZe could actually benefit from the situation. I hope it's not in the back of the head and back of Olaf's head to just like call it quits as soon as they find a fifth, but from what we've seen so far, kind of like just shocked and really just want to see how this can play out. Okay, so FaZe are just going to establish mid control here in round 8. And they get a kill in the default, so this is pretty big. Wow, not only that, but both the cap player and the connector player get a kill. So there's one trade back, and this time it's already a fast. So this is probably going to catch Vitality off guard, right? Because they look like they were all over mid, but actually everybody's already getting ready to go back for an A hit. So potentially the site is open besides the CT player. Oh, just Apex. Okay. And RBK now is in from connector. So it's still a pretty good situation to take A. Yeah, okay. And now they just need to block this off. Ideally, Rain is the one who plants here, and broky holds it down with an op. But with no one in CT spawn, it's a pretty good situation. And broky gets all the info he needs. Let's see how he plays it, actually. Is he just going to swing on this? So this is a key one. He ducks under that because that angle could have been held on him. He doesn't know if the player crossed. He's thinking about it, and certainly he's walking across that side. So I think broky's correct about this. And just wants to make sure he's not at triple. There's no way he's there at triple now. Where the hell did he go? Oh, he didn't even attempt it. Oh my god. What the hell? Must have been too low. That's surprising. He just showed himself. I guess it's a money thing. I'm kind of surprised about that. Shock's at 12 health. Oh, Shock's the cap player. Maybe he just didn't attempt it because of that. Very smart by Shocks. You know, wouldn't have won. So not every day you see Shocks give up on a 1v2. Top 1, top 2 clutch statistics in the whole game in this year, in year 2020. Shock's amazing. Amazing career. At this point, he's trying to come for Forest for all-time great because he is now on a relevant, like, basically top 1 team as a second star, you know, in 2020 for someone who's played an incredibly long time. Not quite as long as Forest, but extremely long. So the defaults haven't been anything special, to be honest, from FaZe. Like, nothing, no surprises here. I mean, here trying to hunt out, like, the passive lurks are kind of interesting, but we haven't seen FaZe just kind of be too aggressive. They like to, it looks like, try to keep it 5v5 for a long time. They'll, like, take fights. And I think that's a good balance for FaZe, because with players as good as you have on FaZe Clan, you want to take a lot of 50-50s on T side, right? Because you have so much talent. Like, if these players can't win 50-50s, like, what I'm trying to say is 50-50 fights for normal people are like 55-45 for FaZe Clan players. So I think it's very good to try to do this on your default. On T side, sometimes Other teams have to take 40, 60 fights just for try to get openings. So if you find like in the first minute or so, you have a nice default going on, you can take a couple of peeks that just annoys the CTs, you know, baits them into trying to fight you. And you have players like, you know, broky, Coldzera, Rain, and Kirby who are all in like peak form. Then you kind of want them just like out duel, right? Because any one of these players would be the absolute superstar on another team. And that's always been the FaZe mystery. So yeah, broky not even doing most of the heavy lifting. He's really being used as a star player, but not as an opening entry or even a refragger. Like really kind of just there on the default. I mean, definitely refragging. But it is interesting, like a very passive op, I would say. I don't think I would often say that, but he's not taking a lot of opening duels. But he's still been very successful at finding them. Well, we'll see how that works out. I think I don't know how possible that is. Actually, the other map that he plays here is Overpass. So either we look at the second half of Mirage or we look at Overpass next and see. Okay, let's play our default. He needs to try to trade. Kirby jumps out to Apex. He can throw his nades, hold for the push from stairs. Op will be recovered, and 3-on-3 situation. He's looking for the CT jump up. They're in connector, but they just need to slowly wait and hope that their teammate can come up connector. That's a big kill from broky. So Apex dies within the site. I think he spots one in CT spawn as well. Is this bomb actually going back to B? That would be crazy. Okay, they are going to do it. They need to coordinate here because the bomb's going over towards mid, which, I mean, they must know who the last player is alive. I don't know if it's shocks or not. A tab doesn't work on these POV demos, but if it's shocks, then I don't know why they would go B. Very strange. I don't know how they got this information, but it's probably... Oh, there we go. I guess they heard him. They must have heard him then. Or they just didn't want to fight there. So I don't know if Shocks picks up that op, but it looks like he might have. They'll try to hunt him down, and the op is recovered. Perfect. Okay. Off to broky again. Round 11. So here he takes one spawn, and again, it's a very you can see it right away. Like the intention right there is just not like swing too hard. He sets up a little bit earlier for the jump spot, but that's the risk he takes. He can use that spawn any way he wants, right? If he thinks they might jump up van, then he'll go wider. If he thinks it's going to be a jump spot most of the time, then he'll do that. I'm going to need a lozenge for my throws. Yelling a lot for Valorant. A game that energy when casting is way more high energy than CS is. Okay, well, there's a good opening. And by that, I mean not more exciting necessarily, just like there's like more room for analysis in Valorant, but less time to talk about it. Where on CS, there's more room to breathe, more room for analysis, more room for build-up. And Valorant's a more new age game, right? So it's just going to be leaning towards more kind of like instant excitement and less downtime, which is just an interesting position. But anyways, I digress. I just noticed my throat felt a little something in my throat. Well, it's not a bad position to be in. We can see, like, most of the time, broky has no idea how the round is unfolding before him. So he's relying a lot on team communication in a lot of these positions, which is kind of interesting. I didn't expect to see that, to be honest. Like, it feels like either he's the one telling his teammates where to go because he doesn't see much, or he's the one trying to figure out what to do with his teammates, you know, giving him info on where people are. But regardless, he's doing a good job with it. It doesn't feel like he is a primary opera right now with the way that he's playing, though, I'll be honest. Like, it feels like he could do his job rifling pretty much just as well. So there's the jump spot finally. He holds for the soft swing, I guess. Like, somebody peeking, shoulder peeking. This is one of those games like in a pug you can never play like this. Your team would just die and you would lose. But it could be kind of threatening, the fact that they can retain the op for so long, make sure he stays alive for the longest. Use him tastefully. Without overcommitting to anything. I wonder if this breaks the demo if I try to follow the smoke. In demos, you can hold Alt and it'll follow the smoke to see where it lands. I think that might be just a cat smoke that lands in front of connector, potentially. Based on the bounce, but I'm not exactly sure. The normal smoke, a bit up to the right, just lands here. I'm not sure if this is the same one or not. Let's see. Don't know. Might be. Maybe it's just two lineups. Not sure. Okay. This time I'll hold for the Hall's push. And sometimes guys with the opera, it's up to them, right? You don't really always tell your opera where to go unless you're in some, like, I feel like maybe Alexi B might say, okay, I want you to go pick this time. Who's a kind of very, very, very like micromanaging caller, or Glaive or something might do that. But I feel like most teams, you want to let your opera use his best game sense to say, like, I think the pick will come here. I think I should try to go for this. I feel like I'm going to get a kill here. And then just let them do that and work around the op. Or you call a strat in the op. X kind of shows how they can fit into it. But it's also very promising that FaZe have a dedicated opper who's looking very, very on form right now. Because, I don't know, I don't think your op can just be a bad player. Like, I don't think your op should be given to someone who, like, no offense to Kerrigan, and I want Chris J's stats to just come way up because he's just he has an extraordinary peak, but, like, I don't think your op should be given to a player who has, like, a 0.7 KD, right? Like, your op is too expensive and can have too much impact on the right hand. So I feel like too many superstar level teams have superstar level oppers opping, and I don't think their impact and the team's results are a complete coincidence there. I think it's misusing the op to give it to a worse player to improve their stats, or just give them a way to have impact. As a secondary, sure. The real big thing is also the bank that's being built up every time broky doesn't die. So another real passive peak here in the B halls. He's had very little opening kill success with the kind of options he's taken early on. But again, it feels like FaZe are almost pretending they're playing in the first few seconds of the round, and they're really just about trying to. Oh, wicked shot! And you can see he's just nailing the opportunities, right? Wherever they come, sliver of a moment peaks. But it feels like FaZe are just kind of pretending in their defaults that, like, they want to do something crazy, when in reality they're just like, let's just see if we stay alive and see if they make a giant mistake. And they're kind of letting it go down to a little bit of Rain, a little bit of Kirby in middle to take the next step. And I like using Kirby like that because I think he seems like he's very comfortable taking those liberties, knows when to push. Very smart at playing for himself. Nuts, man. Happy for Kirby that this is working. Happy to see Cold as an IGL for some reason. Happy to see Olaf on this team and the team winning. Like, you don't know how happy it makes me, honestly. I really thought this roster was just going to implode. Okay, final round of the first half of the first quarter of videos that we're doing on broky, maybe. That's like the first shot he's missed all half, honestly, but he makes up for it with a nice read. And they grab the second kill as well, and this is round in the bag here. One more player on A. Apex probably smokes this out. Did they kill Apex? Can't remember. And now, like, you, in this spot, the rule of thumb on my teams have always been, like, if you get a kill this early, you add 20 seconds to the default, because the other team just, in fundamentally sound Counter-Strike, they go to make a mistake. If they do some crazy rotation because you got the kills, then they come and stack A, then the dumbest thing you can do is just execute right away, because now there's 3 players on A. And if you wait long enough, they rotate back because they get scared. If you wait long enough, then they push because they get scared. There's just so many good reasons to actually just hold, like literally just hold everything that you have, especially if you win those duels in a default. Like, say they won those duels in an A exec setup, then you would move into the A exec. But if you win those duels in a default where everyone's spread out and can't exec on a site, you just continue to hold longer. But somehow people are getting picked off. Okay, we're going to go through. Olaf. Ooh, that could be the magical frag, honestly, because now Masuda, broky can actually... Oh, what the hell? Nice shot, broky. God damn. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. He is fast. Wow. Okay. So now he's thinking about cat. So I think he's going to take this cat peek in like a moment here. I think on this other side of the smoke, he could peek it if he wants to. Yeah. So he's going to see... I think, oh, he was concerned about it. Ziwu actually waits long enough. A nice outplay. A great shot. What would have been a fantastic 1v2. And the conclusion to our game. That was pretty sick. broky, it felt like it felt like he was a role player with superstar talent. Does that make sense? It felt like he wasn't the focal point of every single round, but his refrags were astounding. And the op picks were there. I would have liked to see more. I would have liked to see more risks, slightly more risks in the opening op kill opportunity, like opening op kills. But I think what we see of broky is such consistency because he doesn't do overly risky stuff and is so good at grabbing that like one opportunity refrag where most people would miss and let go. Especially I guess when he's on point like this. But that was pretty sick. Lightning fast from broky. All right, 30 minutes in. Don't want to kill my voice. I'm going to get out of here. Let me know if you enjoyed that. Let me know if you want to see more broky tomorrow. Just do four days of broky. I'm down. Or we'll do more games from the showdown. Try to link me some Blast Showdown games. And we can do those. All right? Hit me back. Peace out.